Hello and welcome to Willow's Green Permaculture. Here I've got some ground cherries to show you. These are wonderful. They're in the same family as the tomato and the tomatillo. And like the tomatillo, well, they've got this protective shell. And what's wonderful about them, because of this protective shell, well, first of all, they're called ground cherries because they're ready when they fall to the ground. And because of these shells, they're protected while they're on the ground. And because of those shells, because they're protected, you can wait a week or two between harvests and they can just stay on the ground and they'll be fine because of this protection. And over those couple weeks, well, what's gonna happen is, sometimes they'll fall and they're still a little bit green. See that? It's a little bit green in there, but then slowly, they'll start to ripen while on the ground. They'll finish ripening. They've already started ripening when they fall, and you'll notice the shell changes color and so on, becomes more yellow, sometimes even almost a white, starts to become translucent, and then eventually the shell will, you see like that one's almost white, but eventually the shell will become totally transparent, and you'll be able to clearly see the ground cherry inside, but it'll still be protected by the shell. And then you take the shell off and you got this pristine ground cherry on the inside. So the whole time, even when it's completely transparent like this, the dirt, you see like this one's a little bit dirty, the shell's a little bit dirty, but you remove the shell and the ground cherry inside is clean. And so they're protected for those 2 weeks or whatever, however long you wait. And then you pick them when they're ready. They're all in the same spot because they've fallen at the foot of the same plant. You can give the plant a little bit of a shake so some more fall. That's where you get some of these greener ones. But they'll continue to ripen because if they fall, that means they're ready to finish ripening even if they're not on the plant. If when you're shelling them, you notice they're not quite ripe enough for your liking, then leave the shell on. Don't detach it from the ground cherry, and eventually it will ripen a bit more. And eventually, if you leave it long enough, it'll turn completely yellow. And then you can take the shell off. I will freeze mine until I've collected enough ground cherries to make a good batch of jam. So that's ground cherries. They make the best jam. You just peel them and then you stick them in a little pot. You barely cover them with water because there's a lot of juice inside. So just a tiny little bit of water so that you can get them started boiling and breaking up and releasing their juice. You add a bit of sugar to that and either some quince as pectin or some lemon juice as pectin or some pectin. Maybe you don't even need to add pectin though because they are acid, and so they're like tomatoes, so they might thicken up on their own. You can experiment with different amounts. I've made them with lemon in the past, and in other times I've put just sugar and a little tiny bit of water, and they've made really nice jam. Probably the thickest jams I've made have been with a bit of lemon peel in there. This year I'm going to try it with some quince, and so they're just wonderful. It's probably my favorite flavored jam. Ground cherries. It's December 10th today. Here is this year's harvest of ground cherries, which is pretty good considering that I didn't even plant them this year. Didn't even bother to plant them, but I had a whole bunch of plants that grew anyway, and because I didn't even realize they were growing, I harvested them almost as an afterthought. And I've still got a bunch that I'm waiting to finish ripening that I harvested a few weeks ago. Once again, December 10th today. Here's also one of our last harvests of tomatoes from the greenhouse. No more tomatoes in the greenhouse now. Some millet there behind them. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, then please share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up, and have a great week. And we will see you next time.